Welcome back to Corona Can't Stop Us. This is a video series that we do roughly whenever somebody feels like talking right now. And right now, Meghann Stamps of the Peay women's golf team has graciously agreed to join me for a long discussion about a number of topics. Meghann, your life's kind of gotten a little topsy-turvy over the last couple of months, just like everybody else's has. How's it been?
I guess topsy-turvy is a good word for more boring. It's been quite different not being on campus. I've gotten to see a lot more of my family. That's about it. Please let me back. Please take me back to Clarksville.
Never thought you'd miss it as much as you have, did you?
No, it's really one of those you don't know what you have until it's gone, and not even with the people or coaches or anything, but just the daily schedule, daily going to classes, having a certain time you have to wake up, because even for this interview today, I had to set an alarm for 2 p.m. to make sure I was up. So yeah, I guess that accountability of just living everyday life, don't take it for granted.
You're almost now getting the traditional college experience that student athletes don't usually get, because you're usually up in the morning because you've got early classes, because you got weights, or you got practice later on the day, you got tournaments. This is how most of us lived all 4 years, where we wake up at noon and go to class sort of sometimes if we felt like it. So is it giving you appreciation of how the other half had to live?
Yes and no, because I think I'd enjoy it for 2 weeks and then be bored out of my mind. So, though I have spent all 4 years trying to talk the coaches into afternoon workouts so that I can take those noon classes and never have an 8 a.m. again, but it never worked out.
Have you enjoyed getting more time with your family than you might have otherwise? Usually this time of year, when we left off, you guys would be in class full bore. You'd be winding up the season. You'd be pedal to the metal, and now you stopped. So was it great, especially for you, because your family's close and you kind of can get to them and be near them whenever anything like this might occur?
Yeah, I've been lucky. Like I said, my parents and I were pretty close. All my grandparents are here. I do feel like I'm on the lucky end of it, and we're not just trapped in the house all day, because the three of us have learned that will usually end in disaster. So we just head out to the golf course every day. I don't think this is going on anymore, but the first half of this quarantine, we were heading out to all of the Metro Nashville golf courses because they were closed, and they had a deal where you could just come out, bring your push cart or carry your bag and bring your own balls, and you got to play for free because nobody was even in the clubhouse. So I think that kept the three of us sane. That and my freshmen on the team, well, I guess they're going to be sophomores now, but they've corrupted me into the TikTok life. So between golf and TikToks, I've stayed sane. Oh, and working out. That too, coach.
Was graduation kind of a lukewarm affair, given how it had to happen this time around? When you're anticipating your graduation, you don't think of it happening virtually or via social media mainly. So how did it go over in the home?
Yeah, for me, we did a photo shoot and that was about it. So luckily mom's Facebook friends were the most who wished me well on that. But other than that, no, they emailed, I know the athletic department emailed Stoles. We are expecting our diplomas in the mail. I know I applied to have it sent to me via, the mailbox. So yeah, that is a little bit underwhelming, but I think I'm going to be lucky because where I'm going back this year for my master's degree in broadcast media and communications, I've heard, I didn't know this, but if you get a master's degree, you also get to walk. So I think I'll get to walk this next spring. So that'll be nice. But yeah, my heart goes out to the seniors who aren't going to get that experience at all.
Let's talk about your decision to come back next year, which awesome. Thank you. Much. I think there was a lot of rejoicing when you decided you were going to be coming back. But how did you decide that that's what you wanted?
From the very get-go, when we heard the news, we were in Georgia, our team was, And I had a full-blown breakdown right in front of the whole team. I think the entire team and the coaches, like, it was a big group hug, and I was just like, it was bad. So I was pretty devastated for a couple of weeks. It was weird, but I told people it honestly felt like somebody had died, not to that extent, but just, 15 years of golfing, and it was just over. No OVC. My parents weren't at the last tournament. It was just like, okay, it's over. Because at this point, there was no rumors or anything about getting another year. So I think where I just had to deal with that for three or 4 weeks, or whenever the NCAA said that we could come back, that was awful. So I think that was a big influence on my decision, was just the month or so that I spent just going, okay, 15 years of work, it's just over. And then trying to reframe my mind into applying for reporter jobs and just trying to shift that mentality. But I knew something in my heart wasn't ready to shift yet, because I hadn't had, the book chapter ending. Like, there was no close. So I think just that time spent being sad about it. And then once we heard the news that there was a chance to come back, it was like a saving grace had been sent out of nowhere. So I knew as soon as I heard it, I'd been thinking, and there was a good station close to here that I was thinking about applying for a reporter job at. And I talked to my parents, and, my mom was the one who said to me, you've got your entire life to work, but you only have 1 year of eligibility left, so you better take this. And when she phrased it like that, that made it make sense to me. And then Coach was really good about making it work where I could come back financially. And so seeing how much Coach really wanted me to come back, she made it clear on the phone. She was really excited about it. Even with a new freshman coming in, I still felt, at first I was like, is this going to be awkward? Am I going to feel out of place? But as soon as I heard Coach on the phone call and she was like, Meghann, you could come back, I was like, okay, I feel good about this.
What, and I'm assuming you probably don't want to dwell on this very much, because, you can drive yourself crazy with the what ifs. But if there had not been that opportunity to kind of do this again, to get a mulligan on the senior year that didn't quite finish, would you have felt like there was something missing?
Yeah, I was trying to come to terms with it by the time that the NCAA announced that we could come back, and I was able to reframe my mind toward the potential of that. But yeah, in the month or so before they announced that, it was almost like going through a grieving process. Like, what are the 5 steps? Like sadness, anger. I know it sounds silly, but I guess that is the best comparison I can come up with. It really just felt like a little piece of me had, died after 15 years of hard work, and then just no finality. But I was, getting toward the latter end of those steps, and I was accepting it, and I was really trying to use the mind over matter to pump myself up about applying to news reporter jobs around here. But yeah, I think deep down, as much mind over matter and stuff as I was trying to do, a little part of me probably would have always felt that, the unsatisfying ending. So I think this is just really why I don't want to put unhealthy pressure on myself or anything, but I want to go back and do a really good job this year, because I just feel like this is a chance that I didn't have to be given. Like, amidst all the bad things, this is kind of a blessing in disguise.
A lot of times when we see our recently graduated student athletes, when they come back for anything, they kind of have a wistful bit of regret a little bit that first year. Like when they come back for a football game or a basketball game, oh, wish I was still back out there. Wish I could still lace them up and go one more time. You get that chance. Is that something that, just how valuable is that to be able to go, I've got one more opportunity?
Yes, because there are definitely goals that I would have liked to push further on, like whether it was less, less three putts or making more 2-footers or making more up and down, like any of those that I wasn't fully satisfied with last year. I get the chance to come back and do it. So that's why I'm definitely not being lazy during this quarantine. I'm going out working because I'm glad I do get that chance. Because for me, after a lot of prayer, I'd really thought that I was going to play after college for a long time, but around sophomore year, with a lot of talking with my family and a lot of prayer, I just felt a call more toward the news reporter direction. And, this will be the end of golf is right after this spring. So I'm glad that I get the chance to end it right.
Is there anything about your senior year that you're kind of excited to get a do-over on?
We're calling it my super senior year now. Super senior. Not even about golf, but for reporting, I need to get better at my editing skills, because that was something that I didn't really know when I picked this career path. I kind of picked it blindly going, oh, I think talking on TV would be fine. And then no, I found out that editing is very important. So this gives me a chance to sharpen up on that. And then for golf, I've really wanted to always play really well both days at the OVC. So I want to do that.
The All OVC honor, well deserved, by the way. Was that a nice consolation for the shortened year, motivation for next year, or pressure now for next year, or is it kind of a little bit of all of them?
No, I feel like it's driving me because now the standard has been set and I know I can do it. So I feel like now this has given me motivation to keep it up and try to do even better if I can. But yeah, I wish we could have had the banquet and the medals, but it's okay. It's okay. If I keep it up, I'll get it next year. So.
How stacked is this team going to be next year? You've got 3 All OVCs coming back, Riley, who's playing really, really well, Peyton Elkins, who's really coming along, Andrea, who's really coming along. Like, you guys are going to be loaded next year.
And Zach will be back, from her injury. She'll be fully able to play.
You're right. I mean, I hadn't even thought about Zach just because she'd been out so much. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really good team.
No, this will definitely be a team where you can't take it easy in qualifying, because I think I've remembered people who've been on the team in the past. The team is really shaped up, and this isn't saying bad about the past. It's how good we are now. But they've said, basically, if you used to could shoot in the 70s, you were probably guaranteed a spot for the tournament. But that's not it now. We're pretty on fire. We're moving up. So yeah, no taking it easy for qualifying or in the weight room or anything. We gotta be on our game if we want to travel. So
talk about how your coaches have done during this time and how they've what they've done to keep you guys to get both together as a team and focused on the future and focused on finishing out your academic year strong. And especially because they're both in their first year. I know Jessica has a long and distinguished history with the program, but this is her first year as head coach. This is Colton's first year as her assistant. It could have been a lot of pitfalls, a lot of minefields to navigate, and it seems like they did a great job.
They definitely had a great year. I'm very proud to call both of them my coaches, and I think that's how the entire team feels. It's been a very good vibe this year, and they're doing their best in this quarantine to try to have us have a lot of Zoom calls. I know later tonight, we're having one with a recruit for 2021. So, and they wanted everyone on it, including me. So I think, I just think they're doing their best. I know, Coach especially has that perfectionism. So I know she wishes there's more we could do. I know she'd have us meet probably once a week in person if she could, but they're doing their best. And I know that probably they're itching more than any of us for us to be back in the fall and finally really see each other. But yeah, they're awesome.
What are you most looking forward to when we come back, when we're all together again?
I mean, there's a lot of different things. I'm excited to see my team. I'm excited to have a schedule. I'm excited for my coaches, but I really think more than anything is the selfish part, that I'm excited to come back and prove that my game can be better. Like, you know, all those little goals, I want to accomplish them. Like, I want to lessen my 3 putts, like I was saying. Like, I really just want to come back and, you know, I feel almost like hungry for that chance that I've been given out of nowhere to come back and really score low. And I want to do it both fall and spring semester because I felt pretty good this year, but I know there's been a couple of years that I'll have one good semester and one okay semester. So I think I just really want to come in and have a strong start from the get-go.
You had to fight some injuries a lot during the course of your career as well. Has it been kind of nice to shut down a little bit and give your body that time to heal and rest?
Quarantine has not been injury-free. I've still been battling with it's called retrocalcaneal bursitis. It happened in the heel of my left foot during all the way back in November, sprinting in one of our workouts or something. I guess I twisted it wrong or did something and got an x-ray and they said, oh, it'll last 3 weeks. Well, 6 months later, it was still bothering me. So I've had to been dealing with that, but it's felt really good in this last month. So I think it'll be good to go. But other than that, I know I said injuries, but other than dealing with that, and yeah, it's been on the mend. So I guess
as long as you're getting better, I think that's the important thing.
Yeah, it's been frustrating dealing with it, but it's finally on the mend now that I've got some good shoes, so that'll be nice.
I gotta say that I've talked to a lot of people during the course of all of this, and you really seem to have been, like, maybe you're just putting on for me. I don't know why you would, but you seem to be in really good spirits. What do you attribute
I'm
that
okay.
to?
Huh?
What do you attribute that to?
I mean, like I said, I feel like I'm okay. I've had an entire friend group, like, yeah, they'll work in the day, but we've been able to spend the nights together in quarantine, you know, social distancing, but still been able to chill out and do things that, you know, I've never really had time for before. Like, I guess I'm a tennis player now. We've been meeting and playing tennis at nights. So that, seeing a lot of my family, still getting to golf every day. Getting more sleep than normal. And just really trusting God that this will work out, you know, that no matter, because even in the uncertainty when I didn't know if I could come back or not, that's sort of been my mindset for all of this quarantine is just saying, you know, whether I get to come back, whether I start my news job right now, whether, you know, whatever the case may be, I just want to trust that whatever you have planned for me is what's meant to happen. So I feel like just that, you know, this may sound bad, but I mean it in a good way, just blind faith has helped me. It's helped me not worry. It's helped me not try to plan everything to a fault. You know, plan what I can, but the parts that I can't control, I feel like it's helped me not stress about them. And
So
just
tennis.
Tennis.
We need to call Ross Brown and say that we got another one for next year for him as well.
Yeah, I told my friends, I was like, I think I missed my calling, you know, going into all this golf business. I should have done tennis. Oh, I'm just kidding. That probably would not have worked out very well.
Meghann, I'll turn it over to you for the last part here. Just share with people whatever has there been some time of reflection during all this where you've kind of come to a realization about yourself or faith or golf or school or anything else that you that's been a big positive that's come out of this for you? Because I feel like we can get so bogged down in the negative that it's tough sometimes to see the changes we're making as people in this time where we get to step back a little bit and remove ourselves a little bit from work and school and sports and all the things that make our lives fun and interesting, but also take up so much of our time.
Yeah, I guess time-wise, I mean, like you said, I never thought that I would get another chance to stay at home and see my friends. Like, I thought this last winter break was it for me. And then from here on, I thought I could be in another state right now, be in the working world. So I guess just this time to have normal, regular golf practices for one more summer and to, sleep at home in my own bed and see my parents. Like, it's just a blessing that I didn't think I would get, just to have one more year of normalcy before, diving into the news world. So I feel like, it's something that I didn't think I would get. I know a lot of seniors are itching and chomping at the bit to get into the real world, but I've just never been like that. Like, even back in high school, my friends were usually a grade younger. So I feel like for me, this has been good. I wanted one more year of it. So I feel like I've been pretty blessed. I mean, it's tragic how the circumstances happen, but for me, I feel like this is a good thing that I wasn't expecting.
Well, we can't wait to have you back here. Can't wait to have all of you guys back here soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, because this place is really boring and lonely without the student athletes.
I believe it.
And they're just really, like, we're here. We just don't feel like we're doing a lot because you guys are the lifeblood that makes this place go. And we look forward to having you back.
Well, I'm ready to be back.
Hopefully
Very
soon.
ready.
Hopefully very soon. Meghann, thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to talk to me today.
All right. Thank you, Colby.
See ya.